I do so miss wearing collared shirts. There was a time when I wouldn't wear anything less than a button down. Now, since I gave up my car, I did not realize that I was giving up most of my mediocre wardrobe, which I liked. I like my button down shirts, but now I guess I'm a t-shirt guy. Um, by the way, welcome to this thing where I talk about stuff. Um, I haven't really got a name for it. A photographer's observations of humanity. All right, we'll call it that. A photographer's observations of humanity. Whew, thirsty. Where I talk about what I see. And what I see is an absolute mess. Um, First off, we can start by we are not not getting smarter, like not by a long shot. Not by a long shot. Here's what I mean. Like I said, I'm just a photographer. I don't matter. Um, I matter, but you know what I mean. My opinion is not going to change the world. So if you're the type of person who takes stuff like don't be judgmental, so forth and so on. Remember, this is just observations, a photographer's observations on humanity. I don't care what you do. Be really honest with you. I don't care what you do. But it is fun to watch. You guys are immensely entertaining, like immensely entertaining. And if I had known it would be this much fun to watch you guys, I would have dropped out of society a long time ago. And here's what I mean. Um, when I gave up my car a little while ago, just said, all right, I got stuff to do. I'm trying to build a house. Let's make some sacrifices and see if it works. Cars are a dime a dozen. They're not hard to find. So hold on, excuse me for a second. Talk amongst yourselves. So I took my car to a junkyard. They gave me 300 bucks, and I took the bus home. Uh, but part of that was I didn't know I was getting rid of all my clothes. But part of that was I did not know that owning a motorcycle made you into a celebrity, like a full on celebrity. And this is just one occasion, just one account that I'm going to talk about. I was in McDonald's. I work DoorDash. I'm a commercial portrait photographer, which means I don't have any money. And I was working DoorDash, and I ride a motorcycle to do so. And like 8 times a day, I have conversations about motorcycles that people don't understand that I'm not an internet biker. I'm paying my bills with this motorcycle. People don't understand that I'm not looking to talk to them. I didn't buy a motorcycle so I could talk to them. So I have to have that conversation 8 times a day. And like back home in Jersey, having a motorcycle wouldn't get you the time of day. But I live in a smaller town. So anything that's out of the ordinary in a smaller town draws attention to you. And you get used to it after a while, but it is very strange. Um, I even painted my bike weird colors just to throw people off, and it just drew them in more. But I'm at McDonald's this one particular day, and as I'm walking in the door to pick up my bag of food, the there's this lady standing just beyond the table where we have to pick up our bags, and she has a child in front of her, and then she ushers the child, like just like this, ushers the child towards me, a stranger. She ushers her child towards me, and God forbid if that wasn't even her kid. You're just gonna push that kid toward a stranger. See, also I did autopsies, so now I see where that autopsy comes from. Ooh, let me make sure I'm on track here. I wander a bit, but this lady literally offered her child to a stranger and saw nothing wrong with it. But I did figure out what I'm going to say from now on, because it happens often enough for me to have to figure out what to say to people when they do that. And from now on, what I'm going to say, and I don't even address the child, I don't say anything to the child, it's not my place. But I will turn to the parent and say, I'm a stranger. You don't know how dangerous I am. Your child is with me now, and you sent him here. You think they'll get it? You think it'll catch? You think they'll get what I'm trying to tell them? That I don't have any malintentions towards your child, but your child doesn't know that, and neither do you. And just because I have something shiny and looks like fun doesn't mean that I'm safe. And now that I've seen it in person, now I know. I've read 1,000 police reports, 1,000 police reports about missing and abducted children that I'm now doing autopsies on. And now I see how it happens. These kids don't stand a chance. The kids in those situations don't stand a chance. They are openly being given away by their parents. Scary thought, I know. What are you going to do? Oh, also this. When I moved to New Mexico 2005, so 20 years now. I've been here a while. And to this day, even 20 years of being here, um, and this I say this to the current political climate, how that kind of works. They they do not know who we are. Like, not by a long shot. I've been here 20 years and I still daily run into people who don't know who I am. Now, to add some context to that, in Long Branch, New Jersey, I'm nobody. I'm low man on the totem pole. I am nobody special. And and that's there's men that I grew up with that are way above my pay grade, way above my pay grade. But you put me in a tiny town of 5,000 people, and you still get the weird racism sometimes. Hey, can you smile for me so I can see you in the dark? That bullshit. That bullshit. You still get the smile and dark jokes out here, and like real, there's old like ineffective racism that doesn't even work anymore. And part of it is because they're young and they don't know that that doesn't mean anything anymore. Once we started using the N word in our entertainment, that then launched it off into the ether, and it's not a thing anymore. It's not a thing. Has no. It's a blank bullet, is what it is. It makes a big sound, but that's about it. Because and weirdly, the people here don't understand that the N word has nothing to do with us anymore. Like, nothing. The N word is something white people use to get other white people fired. It's not us. It's very rarely us that are even involved in that situation. But that be that as it may, whatever. But we still get people. I still get people here out here who are in that old racism sort of thing. Also, people who are not in any racist way at all are surprised by me. And I was a book smart, in the house nerdy person. I was not like popular in any way. I hung out with the popular kids after a while, like 15, 16, 17 years old. Then I started hanging out with the popular kids, Tada and them, Wade and Pookie and all them, and Marcy and them. They were cool, but I was low man on the totem pole. And even at that, the people here, and the state I live in, New Mexico, is a blue state, but it has red trim. Get me? So like when they run across me and they see that there's an African American male that not only watched Lord of the Rings in passing, it was okay. It insists upon itself. It's it's just overblown. But also was in the computer club with Mr. Dickerson. Also was in band, choir. Did I do any? No, I never did dance in school. But just like their opinion and exposure to our culture is so small, so narrow that you can tell that it's only from 50 years of television. That's their only exposure to us. They don't know about like let me say a safe name here. Uh they don't know about people like me, black people like me. They don't know about black people like they might know about black people like Tyrone, Romeos. They might know about the Romeos, but they don't know about like people like Wade. Remember Wade and Pookie and them? Like they don't know about the absolute spectrum of African American that there is. They only know what they've been told, and it is obvious and evident by uh, by their interactions with me. They don't like they're blown away. Like they assume number one, the assumption is that we're all on welfare. We're all like carjackers and blah blah blah, and we all talk hip hop. And just by the the first impression of my voice, I don't sound like a black guy. I never did. I wish I did. I wish I had a nice Barry White, black guy, Barry White voice, but I don't, you know? But I was still accepted in my community. But when they hear me around here, they don't, they have no idea what to do with me. They have no category for me in their brain. I, what's the thing? I blow them away just by being me. And I am low, like I said, low man on the totem pole back home. But out here, I'm effing exotic. Really? But it just speaks to how much interaction they've had with the African American community. Like I never met a Native American before I came here. I never really met a Mexican before I came here. Not knowingly met a Mexican. And now I'm learning just encyclopedias worth of knowledge of the Hispanic Latino community. But then I said all that to say this, it's easy. It's easy for someone like, I don't know, say a Joe Biden or a Donald Trump to tell the world, or at least our country, about what we are as a people. It's easy for them to do that when there are no examples of me out here. I would say there's probably three. There's 2 million people in the state. New Mexico is enormous. It's like 10 times bigger than New Jersey. And but there's only 3 million people in the state, and it's only like 1.5% African American. And the African Americans I've seen out here all have straight hair and long noses. So they're integrated into this gene pool. So they don't have the big bell pepper nose and the short nappy hair. They like quite a few in the past 2 years. I've seen like some like average looking black people like you'd see in Midtown or you'd see in like Edison if you had to go to go to a football game in Sussex County in Suffolk County to Meadowlands and stuff like that. You see those kind of black people, just average, everyday black people. I've seen a couple of them here, and it's weird. Like your eyes lock, and then you just kind of look at each other, and like you pause. Whatever you was doing, it's all over now. You got to stop for a second, and you dap and everything, and then you just go your way because we just don't see each other like that. Not out here, and that goes to say that it's easy for a Trump to say, "Oh well, they're eating the dogs and cats." It's easy for a Biden to say that it's the ethnic groups that are doing whatever. It's easy for the Republican Party to say, "Oh well, all the crime is because of." It's easy. There's no Haitians here. There's no Jamaicans here. There's no Caribbeans. No one from Ghana. There's no like there. When I say no, I none. I mean like 10 in the entire state. They can't go out and get bean pies and sit down and eat with us. They can't. So the it's easy for a Trump or a Biden to say anything they want about us. And it would be easy for anyone to tell us the not truth about Native Americans. I thought they were all gone. Honestly, I'd never seen one before. It's easy for them to tell us a not truth about the Hispanic Latino community because before 2005, when the Brazilians came to Jersey, we only had Puerto Ricans, and Puerto Ricans were same as us. So they were kind of Italianish a little bit, but they were about the same as us. And speaking of a Trump, have you seen the crowds at his 4th of July, Freedom 250? Because America 250 and Freedom 250 are two different things. America 250 is about the country. Freedom 250 is actually literally a private LLC controlled by Trump. And the tens people that showed up to this concert, I got to kind of wonder, how did he become president with that little public support? There's not that many people that support Trump. There's just not. There are, I would say, probably anywhere from 7 to 18% of adult Americans that support him at best. And that was in the beginning when he had everybody all riled up. But they never turn the camera around to show his crowds when he's talking. They never do interviews with people. How he got to be president in the first place is because of the system. And before you start blaming Trump for anything, you should know that it's all of them. It's all of them.